Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Saturday afternoon. A couple things in the news I wanted to highlight that look interesting to me. Also, one of my subscribers was kind enough to remind me that I just hit 400 subscribers, so that was nice of him to do. Shout out to AML on that. I am trying to build my channel. It takes time, obviously. I started a little over a year ago, and man, it took forever just to get to 100 subscribers. So I can only imagine some of these channels that are at thousands, in the thousands of subscribers. The time and dedication and effort it takes to build that, no doubt, not easy to do. So let's jump on into it here. On CBR's website, DC Black Label announces a Joker project, Joker Killer Smile, by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. They've been together quite a bit. Excuse me, everybody. Just had an unexpected sneeze. Sorry about that. As you can see, I don't edit things out. I just do it as is. So Lemire and Sorrentino, they're a pretty good team. They've been doing Gideon Falls together, which has been a fantastic series. I've been recommending that for a long time now. Probably one of the best independent books, to Image title out there, in my opinion, is Gideon Falls. So when this team gets together and does a project, it definitely is one that you want to try to make sure you're grabbing. So the premise is the Joker, the clown prince of crime, has a fateful encounter with a mental health professional that radically alters the course of a number of lives. And while that premise sounds familiar, the story isn't about Harley Quinn. So right there, I'm kind of intrigued. I think that sounds interesting. So there's that looks like at least the cover art for the first issue. Pretty cool. I like that. The fact that Sorrentino's doing interior artwork as well, I think is going to be awesome. And it'll be a black label, so it'll be probably a prestige format. I don't know. I don't think they've said here whether it will be, magazine sized. I hope it's just regular sized. I don't care for the magazine size like Batman Damned. But the last couple projects by Black Label have been regular comic size, so probably going to be in a prestige, thicker, square-bound format is my guess. But yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. I think that'll be very good. Lemire says, I wanted to tell an intimate story about how the Joker's evil is something that can devastate a normal family or a relationship as much as it devastates society as a whole. That the idea that really grabbed me, the sense of terror that would come from letting something like the Joker into your family. He added, as someone who has a family myself, that kind of chaos and darkness infecting my personal space is the scariest thing I can think of. And so I started there. So yeah, this should be really good. It says he's a new character called Dr. Ben Arnell that Andrea and I created for the series, and he's this bright, brilliant, young mental health professional who's been tasked with trying to make some sense of the Joker, he said. This is a trope that I've seen in other Joker stories, with Harley being the most obvious example, but we wanted to take this trope and do something completely unexpected with it. Ben's the reader's gateway back into Arkham and to Gotham City, and how we get to explore these new depths of the Joker's mind. So man, I'm really intrigued by that. So you've got a new character, Dr. Ben Arnell. First appearance will probably be obviously the first issue. So he continues here. The Joker isn't inherently a hero or anti-hero at all. He is the incarnation of evil, and I've always had a bit of an issue with people who romanticize him, even though that's obviously the case. Killer Smile's a story about just how dark the Joker really is and how inviting him into your life is dangerous. And yeah, we want people to feel like none of their ideas about who he really is capture the full gravity of what he is. Yeah, so that looks really good. So I don't know when this will be coming out. I'm assuming it's going to be like November November, December. I don't think they have a release date yet. At least I don't see it on the article, but it's probably going to be later in the year. Definitely one I want to pre-order in advance for sure. The other thing I wanted to highlight was the sales in May by Comic-Con. Top 10 here on the list. Number 1 on the list, not any surprises, Deceased number 1. 242,365 estimated units. So I don't know if these are sales. I'm assuming this is sales to comic shops. But yeah, big number, 242. Obviously, it's a number 1. It's a big summer event for DC. Again, I like the series. I think the writing on it's been very, very good. And the fact that you're getting it, regular cover for $3.99, I think is excellent. Good on DC for doing that. Unlike Marvel and some of the, Marvel tends to jack up their special events way more than DC does. So I like what DC's done there. Number 2 on the list is Doomsday Clock number 10. Obviously, this series is doing well for it to be that high on the list. 117,419 estimated sales. For a 10th issue in a 12-part series to be that high, just tells you how good Jeff Johns is and Gary Frank. I mean, that's just a great combination. The writing on that book is excellent. I look forward to every issue. And yeah, there's been a problem in that series where there's been delays. Books haven't come out on time exactly, but man, when it does come out, it's well worth the read. The only problem is you gotta, I probably need to reread that entire series. So when the 12th issue comes out, I'll probably go back and reread them all. That's definitely a good one to get in trade too. Number 3 on the list, Batman Last Night on Earth, number 1, 113,287 in sales. Notice the price, $5.99, definitely a little higher priced. So DC owns the top 3. The story was good. I like the premise of it. I don't like everything Scott Snyder does. Some of his storylines I like. I liked Black Mirror. I thought that was excellent. I liked some of his Batman 52 series that he was on for a while. Not all of it, some of it. So he's kind of off and on for me. Dark Metal was okay. I didn't think Dark Metal was that good. They introduced some cool characters like Batman Who Laughs in that series. So there's parts of the Dark Knight Metal that I really liked, but I didn't like all of it. I think it kind of ended anticlimactically, in my opinion. Number 4 on the list, Savage Avengers number 1. I don't have this book. I don't know why I didn't order it. I don't know. I mean, Conan with Wolverine. I mean, I don't know. I should have picked it up, but I just didn't. I don't know. I was buying so many books that month. Month of May there was a lot of books in my order, so I had to cut somewhere. I figured if it was really good, I could go back and buy it. I haven't heard that it's fantastic, so but it is number 4 on the list with 111,736 in sales. Number 5 on the list, Batman Who Laughs. Number 5, 108,000. Pretty good sales numbers for a 5th issue. I think there's one more issue coming, number 6, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a good series. Again, not fantastic. I mean, I was kind of hoping it was better than it is. It's okay. I'd say it's better than average, but it hasn't blown me away. Amazing Spider-Man number 21, 92,538. Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man has been okay. Nick Spencer has been the writer. Otley's been the artist. It's good. It's decent. I bought the first 5 or 6 issues, and I buy an issue here and there based on a certain cover, but not been collecting it all the way through. So it's not been a title that's really captivated and held me. Unlike number 7 on the list, Immortal Hulk number 17. That book I look forward to every month. I think Al Ewing's writing on that is just superb. Joe Bennett's artwork is good. I don't care for his style, that much, but for that title it works. It's good art for that title. it kind of works well with the style. But there's 87,444 sales of Immortal Hulk 17. That's pretty good for the 17th issue. Obviously, a lot of people know how good it is, and they're supporting it with sales. Batman number 70, 83,518, and Batman 71 right below it at 82,000. So this is a bi-weekly issue. Tom King, obviously, it's no big secret that sales have been slowing. I mean, this Batman was always typically over 100,000 per month in sales. Most of the time it was over 100,000 when Snyder was writing it, and early on when King was writing, it was definitely over 100,000 typically per month. To see it in the 80,000 range is a little alarming, obviously. So that's one of the reasons I think DC decided to move him off the title. He ends his run in 85. I'm kind of pulling for Tom King to have a really good last story arc. So I'm really kind of hoping and optimistic that he does really well with the last several issues that he's doing on a Batman. I'd like to see him in the series on a strong note instead of a whimpering bad note. So I'm pulling for him to do better than he's been doing, but no doubt about it. I've been complaining about Tom King probably since issue 50. I think a lot of people were just, the whole premise of Batman trying to be happy is kind of stupid. It's not Batman's nature. He's a dark individual, and to put into the premise that he's ever supposed to be like a normal person is ridiculous. So again, that's what happens to writers. I mean, when they blow up and become big. I mean, Tom King, Sheriff of Babylon was excellent. Vision was excellent. I mean, he had some really good books, and this is what happens to a lot of writers. They blow up. Everyone thinks they're the best at what they do, and their ego gets big, and failure is right around the corner. So, I mean, you could name how many writers? Alan Moore, Frank Miller. They all peak, and then they all start crashing and start writing poorly, and it's just the cycle of writing. Don't be surprised if it happens to Donny Cates, right? Donny Cates has had a good run on Venom. His Redneck is okay. I don't think his Redneck series is that fantastic. God Country I really liked. His early stuff I thought was much, much better. Venom is still good. Guardians of the Galaxy's okay. It's not blowing me away. So that's part of the problem with writers is they blow up early and then they kind of peak out, and then they start writing some mediocre stuff, which is probably understandable. I don't see how you could continually write everything fantastic. I mean, there aren't very many Stephen Kings in the world, right, where you can have a hit after hit. It's pretty hard to do that. So don't be surprised if that happens to Donny Cates. We'll see what happens with Absolute Carnage. There's a big build-up for it, so hopefully it lives up to the billing. Number 10 on the list is Amazing Spider-Man 22. Amazing Spider-Man is always going to be on this list just because people will buy it. The sales on Amazing Spider-Man are always going to be decent, even if the writing isn't that great. I definitely did not like Dan Slott's writing on the last several issues of his run. But it still sold well because it's Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, just people are going to pick that up and put it in their pull list every month, no matter if it's good or not. They've just been collecting it for decades, and they're not going to stop just because there's a bad writer on it. So it also mentions indie comics of note: Wailing Blade #1. Knights of the Golden Sun #7, Battle Cats #1 Volume 2, and Stranger Things #1. Also Second Prince sprinkled throughout. These Savage Shores #1 and Little Bird #1 and Naomi #3. Wailing Blade, I'm looking forward to reading that. I think I have that in my. Let me just see real quick. Yeah, I think I do have that book. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but there's Wailing Blade #1. So I'm looking forward to reading that. It got a mention here on the list, so that should be good. These Savage Shores, #1. By the way, I picked up. There's somebody that's selling the first issue, #1, the A cover, for $15 on eBay. I picked one up today. That book's been $25 to $30 forever. The fact that it's now selling for $15 means that the hype on it's died down. So that was the only issue I was missing, so I picked one up. So if you haven't bought that series, These Savage Shores #1, I highly recommend that you pick it up. It's very, very good. The writing, the artwork, it's excellent. And the issue #1 you can get right now for $15, which is the cheapest it's been probably since it came out. So that's one I would look for. On another note, this is not really comic books, so if you don't really want to know about music, you can jump off if you want to. But I wanted to. I'll tell this story. I was searching through YouTube to watch, that new Elton John movie's coming out, and I remember that song that I liked, the Tiny Dancer song. So I was searching for Tiny Dancer on YouTube, and this thing came up called Tiny Desk Concerts. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but it's on YouTube. It's NPR does it, and I just clicked on this artist. I thought, who the heck is this? Tash Sultana. And man, I was blown away by just the artistry of this person. She's fantastic. Her voice, her guitar playing is one of the best I've ever seen. Especially on there's 3 songs on this, so it's the 3rd one down here on YouTube. It says Tash Sultana Tiny Desk Concert. I think the 2nd or 3rd song, she does this guitar solo. It's like Jimmy Page. I mean, it's so good. Supposedly, she's been playing the guitar since the age of 3. So she is unbelievable. Watch this video, and if it doesn't move you, if it doesn't just, even if you're not into that style of music per se, just to watch a pure artist at work is amazing. So I highly recommend you look at this video. Tash Sultana Tiny Desk Concert. This thing came out 2 years ago, so I'm obviously a little late. There's 8.4 million views. So some of you guys might already know this. I might be just preaching to the choir here, but I think I think her music is unbelievable. I can't wait to hear more new stuff that she comes out with, but she's fantastic. So check that out, see what you think. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of this video, the comics, what do you think of Tash Sultana. I'm just interested in hearing you guys' comments on that. I might be back on in a day or so, depending on what's happening in the comic book news industry. But definitely on Wednesday, I'll be back on highlighting new comic books that are coming out the following Wednesday. All right, guys, have a good week. I'll talk to you soon.